Top 10 overlooked suspense thrillers that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Welcome to Pro Data Mine. Hey there, movie buffs. Are you craving some serious suspense, but tired of the usual mainstream hits? Then stick around. Today, we're counting down 10 underrated suspense movies that deserve way more attention. From twisty mind benders to claustrophobic thrillers, these are the films that somehow flew under the radar, but will have you glued to your screen. Ready? Let's dive in.
Calibre, why it's underrated. This British thriller earned critical acclaim on the festival circuit, but never quite broke into the mainstream. Plot tease. Two lifelong friends venture into the Scottish Highlands for a hunting trip. What starts as a weekend getaway soon spirals into a harrowing moral dilemma that pushes their friendship and their sanity to the brink. Suspense factor. The remote setting, uneasy town locals, and one massive mistake combine to create a suffocating atmosphere of dread. Exam. Why it's underrated. Exam is a low-budget, single-location thriller that packs a psychological punch but didn't make huge waves outside of niche film circles. Plot tease. 8 top-tier candidates are locked in a room, given a mysterious final exam for a high-profile job. The rules? Don't speak to the invigilator, don't leave, and don't destroy your exam paper. However, the real test isn't what it seems. Suspense factor. Tensions mount as each candidate desperately tries to crack the code. Self-preservation clashes with moral integrity, and alliances shift in the blink of an eye. Session 9. Why it's underrated. Although it has a dedicated cult following, it never gained the mainstream attention of other early 2000s thrillers and horrors. Plot tease. An asbestos cleanup crew takes on an abandoned mental hospital, an imposing labyrinth of dim corridors and unsettling memories. As they work, they discover old tape recordings of a patient with multiple personalities. Suspense factor. The film's grim, decaying setting becomes an eerie character in its own right, amplifying every strange sound and flickering shadow. The Invitation. Why it's underrated. Despite praise from film festivals and critics, it remained underseen by wider audiences. Plot tease. A seemingly ordinary dinner party in the Hollywood Hills takes a dark turn when the host's behavior starts raising red flags. Past traumas resurface, secrets are revealed, and paranoia sets in. Suspense factor. Is the protagonist overreacting, or is there truly something sinister going on? The film expertly keeps you off balance until the shocking reveal. Coherence. Why it's underrated. Filmed on a micro-budget with largely improvised dialogue, Coherence excelled at festivals but didn't receive blockbuster-level buzz. Plot tease. During a dinner party on the night, a comet passes overhead. Strange cosmic occurrences unravel the guest's reality. Confusion and mistrust swirl as they realize multiple timelines might be colliding. Suspense factor. Psychological paranoia ramps up when no one is sure whether they're talking to the real version of their friends or even themselves. Frailty. Why it's underrated. Directed by and starring the late Bill Paxton, alongside Matthew McConaughey, Frailty still didn't achieve the acclaim one might expect for such star power. Plot tease. A father becomes convinced he's been tasked by God to destroy demons, who appear as average people. He enlists his 2 sons in this macabre mission, leaving them with a moral and mortal burden. Suspense factor. You'll constantly question whether there's a supernatural element or a deeply disturbed psyche at work. Plus, an ominous tone looms over every scene. Bug. Why it's underrated. Directed by William Friedkin, famed for The Exorcist, and starring Ashley Judd, it was overshadowed by its unsettling subject matter and limited release. Plot tease. In a rundown motel, a lonely waitress and a troubled drifter become convinced they're infested with tiny bugs, and that nefarious forces are hunting them. But is it real or a shared delusion? Suspense factor. The claustrophobic setting and the increasingly erratic behavior of the characters pull you into a spiraling nightmare. Timecrimes. Why it's underrated. This Spanish-language film by Nacho Vigalondo wowed those who stumbled upon it but didn't get massive international exposure. Plot tease. A man accidentally steps into a time machine and is thrown back in time. Each new loop spawns more confusion and more danger. Suspense factor. Watching him attempt to fix his fate and avoid dark consequences leads to hair-raising tension, as each choice makes his predicament worse. Triangle. Why it's underrated. Despite a cult following, Triangle remains lesser known outside dedicated thriller communities. Plot tease. After a yachting accident, a group of friends boards an abandoned ocean liner. But they soon realize they're trapped in a looping nightmare where events repeat, and a mysterious figure hunts them. Suspense factor. Each loop escalates the tension, revealing new layers of the puzzle and messing with your perception of time. Cure. Why it's underrated. Directed by Kiyoshi Kurosawa, Cure often gets overshadowed by more internationally famous J-horrors like Ringoom or Ju-on. Plot tease. Tokyo is rattled by a series of murders with no apparent motive. Each perpetrator claims memory loss. A detective's investigation leads to a mysterious drifter who may be wielding a terrifying form of hypnosis. Suspense factor. The slow-building dread and unsettling atmosphere get under your skin. There are no cheap thrills, only deeply unsettling psychological horror. And there you have it, 10 overlooked suspense thrillers that deserve a spot on your watch list. From mind-bending time loops to claustrophobic psychological horror, these films prove you don't need a massive budget or endless jump scares to deliver edge-of-your-seat tension. Have you seen any of these hidden gems? Which one are you dying to watch first? Let us know in the comments below. And of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more under-the-radar movie recommendations. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Explore your potential with Pro Data Mine.